Hello guys, and welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program 2 video. And in today's video we will be continuing the exploration playthrough, and we will be completing 3 different objectives, and the most important one is of course landing on the Mun. And we will also be completing tier 2, not tier 2, we'll be completing tier 1 and heading onwards to tier 2. So yeah, heading out to the Mun, we're gonna do a Mun landing. So yeah, here you can see I'm starting the lander, and one thing you need to remember, see the small tank at the top? Yeah, change it to one of the bigger double tanks. So yeah, just remember that. But you can, I kept the time lapse not too fast, so you can follow along. But yeah, so I'm adding some fuel tanks, some side boosters, with 3 big fuel tanks, making sure we've got a lot of fuel, because it took me quite a few attempts, because like we're so low on the tech tree and we've barely got any tech, that making a ship that has enough delta V is quite hard. And most importantly, the hardest part is that this is not over engineered. This is just enough to get to the Mun. Like, you need to be like extremely efficient. So yeah, follow along carefully with the mission, because you're going to need to be very... See, I'm changing it right now. See, one of those bigger ones. Because I tried the mission and there was not enough delta V. So yeah, you need to be extremely efficient. But I'll talk about each moment once it comes. But now it's time to have liftoff, I guess. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. There we go. So yeah, the thrust to weight ratio isn't the best, but it's enough. So now you want to slowly, very slowly start tilting. I'm still waiting until we've got a little bit more speed before I start tilting. And now we can start our gravity turn, and we're gonna keep it very, not too fast, because there's one issue that I found with this vessel, is that the Reliant engines, yeah, you can see the Reliant engines, they don't have any gimbal, which means as I tilt, the ship doesn't tilt very well either. It starts tilting on its own, and eventually it becomes too low down, which is a bad thing. But yeah, aiming, I've talked a lot of this in this series, aiming for around 45 degrees at 10,000 meters, and then just holding on to 45 degrees until you're about a minute away from apoapsis, and then you can start following prograde, and basically it's that easy. So I don't really have much to talk about after that. Like, you just continue your gravity term following prograde until you have an apoapsis of 100 kilometers, because that's actually one of the objectives. You need to have an apoapsis of at least 100 kilometers. So yeah, we need to really look at our apoapsis. Make sure it's at least 100. It needs to be between 99 and 101 kilometers. So yeah, and I've decoupled the side tanks. So now we rely on this central swivel engine, and we will be deploying this very soon. There we go. And now we've moved on to the Terrier, the 3rd stage. Now, to be quite honest, I feel like it would make more sense if the game made us do Minmus first, because Minmus is easier than the Mun. Like, it's easier when it comes to landing, and also you need less delta V. Because right now, I can't over-engineer it. If it were a Minmus mission, I could very easily over-engineer it and make it like easier to fly. But I can't do this with this Mun mission, so it's quite. You need to be extremely efficient, so just follow along with the video when it's your first Mun mission, because it needs to be like picture perfect to what I'm doing right now, because it's very hard not to run out of fuel. So yeah, there we go. We're just waiting until our apoapsis has reached 100 kilometers. I'm sticking to the prograde marker, and there we go. And now I'm gonna go take a break to go have a glass of water. So I'm back. So yeah, as you can see, I'm now plotting a maneuver node to do a circularization burn. So we get a nice and circular orbit. So yeah, the periapsis must be between 99 and 101 kilometers. So must the apoapsis. So yeah, I don't really know what to talk about because I already talked a lot about getting to orbit in like the last 2 episodes. So yeah, let me take a sip of my water. Pretty deliciosa. One thing I need to mention is basically I lost the save file, so I had to redo everything. I did everything off camera, but yeah, basically I lost the save file. I don't know what happened, but I lost the save file. Like, KSP2 just glitched out and my save file was gone. So basically I had to redo everything, which is why some of the signs might be a little bit different. But yeah, just remember to get all of the signs. And now I'm plotting a maneuver node towards the Mun. So basically I set target to the Mun, and then I make a maneuver node at the descending node. Then I pull on prograde until I see some intersect nodes, and then after I just spin the maneuver node around until I get the most efficient maneuver node. And it's as easy as that, I guess. And now we're just time warping, and that's about it. I don't really know what to talk about this maneuver node because I already talked about the maneuver node back in last episode. I will talk a little bit again, but yeah, just pull on the prograde until you get the nice orbit. That's it. It's really that easy. And now we're gonna need to decouple our lower stage in 3, 2, 1. Maybe a little longer. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. We've deployed our lower stage, and now it's time to start using the upper stage. And now I'm just following until we get a nice encounter with the Mun. And there we go. We got a pretty good encounter. I'm just doing a little bit of extra burning until I get the perfect. So basically I tend to like close the maneuver node just before it's done and then just manually burn, because sometimes a maneuver node isn't the most accurate, and you always need to do a little bit of manual burning at the end just to get what you want. And there we go, we've reached Mun SOI. So now I'm making maneuver node at the periapsis, pulling on the retrograde node until I get a nice and circular orbit. And that's about it. And you saw me, I was doing some science in high orbit. Oh, well, I seem to have skipped. Well, basically it's as easy as once you've done your maneuver node, you just burn and do everything. It's easy. But here I seem to have skipped that bit. I didn't really want to show it because like it's really simple. Now I'm getting to real-time footage where we're starting our Mun descent. But yeah, what I was saying is I did some science in high Kerbin orbit because I hadn't yet done any science in that region yet. I forgot it to do it in that region last episode. But yeah, now I'm just waiting until we reach our maneuver node. And so basically what we need to do is we need to land in one of the Mun Mare, which is one of those, if you saw on the map screen, one of those dark spots. You'll see it again, one of those big dark spots on the Mun. And so basically I'm just doing a maneuver node until we get a crash trajectory on like the very edge. See the big dark spot over there? I'm trying to get a crashing course just at the very edge of that bit. Now I'm deploying my landing legs. I like to deploy my landing legs quite early on, and I'm holding on to retrograde, and now I've changed the speed indicator to surface mode, and now I'm just time warping until I'm at about 4,000 meters above the ground, about 3,000 to 4,000 meters above the ground is when you should start your. There you go. Now we can start our suicide burn. So basically, we just go 100% with a Terrier engine to kill off our velocity for landing. Well, I'm very funged up. Let me take a sip of my water. There we go. So you just kill off your velocity, and then once your velocity starts becoming lower and lower, then you can lower the thrust of the engine. And then after that, it's really just like, your goal is simply to just lose velocity. I know this isn't a very good tutorial. It's not supposed to be a detailed tutorial. It's just like a walkthrough. But like, yeah, you basically, once your speed is at about 200 meters per second, then you can like lower the thrust. Maybe even at maybe wait till 100 and then lower your thrust. Because you don't want to just waste all your fuel. And there we go, and now I just turned off the engines. I'm just using very low thrust to get down. And unfortunately, we're landing on not the flattest area. We're landing on this like hill area in the middle of the mare. Ideally, I would have landed on one of the other parts of the mare. Like, the mare is a giant circle and there are like flat bits. But I ended up landing on this little mound, which is kind of annoying because it's not very flat. So yeah, it's quite hilly. And the issue with these kinds of like hills and mounds is that you're very susceptible to tipping over, which is bad because the mud has pretty high gravity. And so if you topple over, it's quite hard to get back to a normal. It's hard to get back upright. Whilst on Minmus, because Minmus has such low gravity, it's not a problem. On the Mun, a little bit more of a problem. Luckily, we didn't topple over, and in the end, we did land on the mound, but we landed on a flatter part of the mound, so it was okay. And there we go, we have touchdown. So yeah, your first ever Mun landing. So now we can do some science, very important. And now we need to do an EVA. We need to get Bob Kerman. Well, in this mission, I accidentally chose Tim C. Kerman, but get your Kerbal out to do some science. We're gonna need to do a surface survey. We're gonna need some surface samples, and of course, we're gonna need to do the very important flag plant. So yeah, one good thing is to name your flags after their biome. Cause like that, next time you come to the Mun, you can choose another biome, so you get extra science. And there we go, your first ever Mun landing. Congratulations. It was quite hard, but if you've made it this far, then give yourself a pat on the back, cause that was pretty hard. But yeah, hopefully you still have enough Delta V to get back to Kerbin. We're gonna see that later. And now we can get our Kerbal back into the ship. Now unfortunately we don't have any ladders, so we're gonna need to use the EVA, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. It can be a little bit tricky when this is your first time, but just play around with WASD, shift and control, and eventually you'll get it. And there we go, it's now time to depart. So when taking off, always try to aim for 90 degrees, like that, you're the 90-degree vector, so you're most efficient. And basically, get off, and as soon as that, you just point flat, just like that, like see. Because Mun has no atmosphere, so there's no need to have a complex gravity turn. Just point flat, and aim for the 90-degree vector, so you're most efficient. And so basically what I did was I quick saved and quick load because a glitch happened. But it wasn't a big glitch, but you'll see what happened. Because here are some little behind the scenes. So basically this bug happened where the orbital line was gone, and when I reloaded the game, like I rebooted the game, the ship was just spinning. Like, this is absolutely insane. And I had this glitch many times where the orbital line would just disappear. So yeah, try your best not to reload any quick saves, because for some reason this glitch is still in the game. Like, I thought they had patched it, but apparently it's still in the game. It's quite annoying. So yeah, I had to do a full-on reboot of the game, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, now I'll try to aim for about a 20-kilometer apoapsis, and then do a simple circularization burn once again. Basically just putting on prograde, just like you did with Kerbit. It's as easy as that. Why am I so hung up today? And now we wanna head back to Kerbit. So basically we need to do a prograde burn, basically like ahead of the Mun. Oh my god, I need a pause. What to say is basically you need to do a maneuver node like in front of the Mun. Basically like, if I don't know how to explain it, but like when I mean in front of the Mun, like the Mun is in front of Kerbin, so you wanna have it like the maneuver node is in air quotes in front of Kerbin, and then just pull on the prograde until you get a nice low periapsis. I aim for about 30 kilometers, so I can slow down nice and well. We can do a quick time warp towards the maneuver node, and then we're gonna do our re-entry. And I did a little bit of brightness enhance because I realized it was like so dark. So I did some brightness enhance, and also I know that YouTube makes videos darker. So yeah, brightness enhance, and now we're gonna do our maneuver node burn. And it's still quite dark. Yeah, I turned off the brightness enhance because I don't know why, because now that the engines are firing, it adds a little bit of light. So I turned off the brightness enhance. And now we're heading down to Kerbin. And there we go. We've got a nice Kerbin in Cal. And look, we have 90 meters per second left. So you really need to follow everything perfectly, or else you won't have enough fuel. So yeah, just it's like I can't over-engineer it. If I were, because this is a walkthrough, I would over-engineer this like that. It's like you're sure that you're gonna have enough delta V, but I can't do this because I don't have enough science. But yeah, if you've gotten this far, then you need to give yourself a very nice pat on the back, because we're finally going back to Kerbin. We're gonna be able to recover all of the science and everything, and that's it. Yeah. So now we've reached Kerbin's atmosphere. I'm gonna stage, point retrograde, and there we go. And now we can just enjoy the re-entry with all of the light. How nice. And so basically we're just slowing down, and I deployed my parachute, and there we go. That's about it. If you forgot to add a parachute, then you're not gonna survive. And we're just holding on to retrograde to minimize as much speed as possible. And that's about it. We have found Kerbin. We now have touchdown on Kerbin. So I'm back at the mission control to retrieve all of the science points from the missions. There we go. And yeah, now I have all of the missions completed. So now there are some new missions. We have a Lunar signal. We need to go to a special part of the Mun. I don't know where that part is. We're gonna have to see in the tracking station next episode. So get excited for that. It's eccentric. We're gonna need to get a very elliptical Kerbin orbit. We're also gonna need to leave Kerbin's SOI, and we're also gonna need to do like a probe mission. So now I'm just unlocking the tech tree, finishing tier 1, and I'm getting the first node on tier 2. And next I'm getting fuel lines, because fuel lines are quite essential. So I got the first node, I got fuel lines, and then I decided to get enhanced electronics, because after enhanced electronics we can get some new science parts, which are very good, because new science parts means more potential science points. So yeah, enhanced electronics, and that's really all we can get right now. So yeah, we're gonna need to start venturing out to other planets. We'll eventually have to go to Juna, I guess. So yeah, that's exciting. Maybe even dress. But yeah, that's about it. I don't have enough science to get anything new. I'm kind of looking at what's expected in the future, but I don't know yet. But yeah, I guess that concludes this video. So if you followed along, then you definitely got to the Mun and got back with a bunch of science points, and you unlocked some more science on the tech tree. So next episode we will be continuing this series, and on the left hand side is video for you, on the right hand side is a playlist, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.